Hi, it's John again. Welcome back to Houston Ghost Town Paranormal. Today we're going to work on your dowsing rods. We're going to teach you how to build dowsing rods. Here are a couple of coat hangers we're going to use to make your dowsing rods. I'll show you how to do it in just a little bit. And then I do want to say a couple things to you first. I don't want you to get discouraged if the dowsing rods don't work for you at first. Ghost hunting, you have to get familiar with it and practice it before things start to happen for you sometimes. Some people are naturals, others have to work at it a little harder, so I can't predict what you'll be. If you have some problems and you want to discuss it with me, you can send me an email at houstonghost@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to give you any further assistance that you need if you run into difficulty. In fact, we might even set up some video chats so that I can assist you and see what you're doing and offer you some encouragement. Don't give up. I have been doing ghost hunting for 14 years now. I find it very interesting. I find every day new, every day different, and every day I learn something new. So I hope that it will be as much fun for you as it has been for me. With that said, we'll go ahead and get started. But again, I don't want you to get discouraged. Please try to take the time to give it time. Sometimes spirits don't appear to people till they're ready. And they seem to sense that about people, whether they are ready or not. And so they may or may not appear for you. Here in my house, I have a number of entities that live with me day to day. In fact, my wife died in this house, and so I may call on her from time to time to assist us with this, and it's nice to be able to know that she is still here watching over me and taking care of things around the house. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, in starting to make your first dowsing rod, what you start to do is you just take it and you start to unscrew the twist here on the end of the hanger, and you can see that the hanger comes apart. Then you take it and you start to straighten it. You straighten it out and you straighten it out. Now a lot of times I'll use a pair of what electricians call climb pliers that are flat billed, and to help me straighten it out and make it perfectly straight. Now, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but the straighter it is, the better, and the prettier it looks. Now I will probably take some clients to this later and pretty it up. I go through dowsing rods pretty regular. You'll find that when you put them on the ground that they seem to disappear. I've even used bright colored ribbons with them and they still disappear. And I don't know, maybe some of the ghosts like to play with them and make them disappear and go somewhere. Now you can of course cut the end off of the curlicue on this thing if you want to, depending on how you want your rods to look. But I think it looks kind of cute with that little curlicue on there. Now then, we're starting on the second one. You do the same thing for the second rod. You just start to untwist it. A little bit here, and then it'll come apart. And then you start to straighten it. And sometimes it's easier to do this with a pair of pliers, but I want to show you the hard way in case you don't have pliers. And you're going to find that these things get bent as you travel to different places, and you're always having to work with them to straighten them out. This one's got a good kink right here I'm having to work with, but okay, now when you get to the handle here, I call this the handle. It's the part where you had the hook. Again, just like the other rod, I just start to straighten it out. And actually where I get it and hold it in my hand, I hold it like that. Let's see if I can turn my hand where you can see how I hold this thing here. See, I let it rest against the palm. Oops, it's trying to act on me already here. I hold it with the handle against the palm of my hand, and it just barely goes over the top of my finger. In general, I like to angle them down so that it takes a lot of pressure for anything to move it, so that you know that something's really starting to move it. And then I'm going to go ahead and see what we can do here. Okay. And again, I'm going to angle them down, slightly down. Generally, I do this around my waist, just so that because the camera's high, I'm showing it up high so that you can do it. And you can see that the ends are still fairly crooked.